Alright, here we are. In the bottom right side, we got ourselves a red Terran player. He's teamless. He is BYUN. His opponent in the top left side is blue. He's the Zerg from Finland. And C-Sports SERRAL. Don't get to introduce that man all that often. Still an absolute blast to see his games. The Finnish Phenom. Right. Left the factory with the barracks. The barracks not making a reactor just quite yet, though. Okay, there we go. Does get it started up right now. May just start with a single one. Should change the name right now, shouldn't I? Well, I guess. Well, there we go. I did mention this. I put it up on the screen as well, guys. So these are games from the TSL. I didn't all get to see them. We're doing a little bit of replay casting. It's the next segment. We did all of the games of the Alpha X scrims. And now we're doing a little bit of other StarCraft 2. So that's what's happening right now. If you want to see these games casted by me, that's all good. Welcome to stick around. If you like, you know what? I already seen it. What happened to BYUN Ragnarok? Ragnarok forfeited. He had a headache, so did not want to play anymore. That was a walkover right there, unfortunately. Bit of a shame. Bit of a shame. Was looking forward to see what Ragnarok was able to do against BYUN, but apparently Ragnarok also going to the chicken party last night, so I don't know what happens in these Korean chicken parties, but oh well. Nice. Did 2-0 BYUN. Yeah, it happens. It happened. Absolutely crazy. Right. So, BYUN here going for the armory. Armory did get scouted out by SERRAL here. SERRAL trying to just see what else could be going on, of course. Those Widow Mines now going to remain hidden, as we do not have any type of stealth detection just quite yet available for SERRAL. I'm a bit surprised that he's not starting up any type of a spore crawler colony, because, well, I mean, you kind of have to. Although he's probably just anticipating the Hellbat attack, right? There we go. Immediately, like, oh, wait a moment. Wait a moment. That is going to be bad. Okay, well, 2 Widow Mines already kind of getting thwarted here. Nothing much being achieved right now. Okay, this one finally is able to do something here. Setting up shop and... Okay, well, that's a nice little split of those Zerglings right there. Wonder if he was waiting for the last possible moment to make that split happen in order to get that Widow Mine still to get the shot off. Bit of a Hellion drop now as well. Man, this attack right here not doing anywhere near the amount of damage that I thought it would. Absolute stellar defense from SERRAL so far. Not taking any damage whatsoever. Yeah, even there, just kind of sending in a single Zergling, realizing that Widow Mine is going to reset. And wow, okay. 3 workers killed off right there for the price of 4 Widow Mines. That's not what you would anticipate there to happen with a Zerg that didn't get any stealth detection. His mining intake that was a little bit less. Overall, his income from the mining was going down a little bit because he just didn't have the boys mining as much, of course, but still. Auto turret harassments also coming in. Grabbing a couple of those drones right now. Bringing us up to the... Well, 5 worker kills in total. Still not all too impressive. Still quite something. Lab being developed now by SERRAL together with the 2 Evo chambers. Wonder if he's going to go for the quickest spire here. If he's just doubling down on the upgrades for the time being. Doesn't quite have the gas overall, I would say, to do both at the same time. Though he's kind of getting there. Bailing speed also, of course, an upgrade you kind of want to get. There we go. We'll be getting himself all the upgrades. Ragnarok gave up his replacement in SERRAL. No. These are games from the TSL. That's why it's a best of 5 now. Man, if only SERRAL would play in our games. If only SERRAL would. Overseer here, kind of coming in for the re-scout. Alright, BYUN. BYUN, what is his position in this game overall? He still had a reasonable amount of workers. He's still in a reasonable amount of harassment capabilities. Though he is... Oh, good effort there by SERRAL trying to make himself into a spore crawler there. Before the Widowmine did manage to shoot. But yeah, again here, great overall defensive stuff from SERRAL. We'll go for a Bailing drop as well. I mean, SERRAL's not taking any damage, but so far not been able to do much damage either, right? Sure, he took out all those Widowmines and such, but I mean, he's still trading non-favorably there with these types of things going on. Bailing speed is ready, so you may be able to just drop these Bailings on top of the Marines right now. It's exactly what he goes for. May as well get something. More units going down here again. 9 drones, in fact, actually. So a bit of Widowmine harassment going finally the way of BYUN. Overlord scouting for a 4th base now, also getting shut down. Is that more harassment? Oh, that's still the same Widowmine. He moved it back and forth between as the Spore Crawler was being moved around as well. +2 attack here for with the armor as well coming up for BYUN momentarily. Looks like that will be a good moment for him. Looking at the upgrades for SERRAL. Not yet going for that +2/+2. Prioritizing the infestation pits here. I love having the Raven available as the Terrans as well here. Against Zerg, you don't see it enough, honestly. It's quite good at clearing up the creep. Problem is, of course, that it's quite easy to shut it down as well. 2 Widowmines there, not getting the greatest connections overall, but... Make that 3. That one could be good. There we go, that's a good one. Getting that damage. Bailings here, looking for the run-by as well. See, there is a siege tank set up as well as a pretty reasonable supply depot wall, so I don't think, I don't imagine this doing anything here. Especially with those Marines in the neighborhood. Actually, the Marines kind of giving us something here. But still. Valiant efforts. No real momentum being built up there for SERRAL, though. BYUN still hanging on here with 3 bases. 3 base economy. He's going to fly over to the 4th base right now. SERRAL already a 5th base on the way, though. He's definitely on top of his macro. Multi-pronged harassment stage is going in here for BYUN right now, though. BYUN looking for the Medevacs is going to be able to get away from that location. The right side still available, though, of course. But a similar amount of Zerg there as well. Man, SERRAL just immediately picking up on the fact, alright, he's going into multi-pronged harassment right now. Spreading out his forces as soon as that kind of started off here. That +2/+2 still in effect, by the way, against the +1/+1 for SERRAL. SERRAL didn't lag too far behind, though. It's already getting the... it's getting pretty darn close to the +2/+2. Has the Hive Tech finishing up at the same time as well, so we'll be able to start up the +3/+3 here. As soon as he would like to. Lurkers and Vipers going to be the way forwards here for SERRAL. BYUN, I think this may just be one of the better ways to kind of deal with BYUN in a sense, right? I mean, BYUN focuses mostly on his offensive. So if you're just good at shutting down offensives, right, which is SERRAL's main thing, it's his entire shindig, being able to shut down any type of aggression that's coming his way. Ooh, that's a good banging hit. And still keep up his macros, still have like a really good economy behind it. Then you are the arch nemesis of BYUN, because BYUN, he likes to get aggressive, he likes to be continuously moving into his opponent's side of the field, try to do damage, try to trade efficiently, and normally he's definitely able to do it. He's kind of doing it now as well, but not to the same effect that we're used to seeing from BYUN. BYUN here looking to defend this area. We'll be able to do so, I would assume. Those Vipers there, mixing it up a little bit though with the Blinding Clouds could be providing a bit of cover. It's not going to go for it at this moment in time though. Adrenal Glance and the Lurker upgrade all about to finish up right now. So SERRAL, it's probably a good time for him not to go in at this moment. Gonna wait for these upgrades, and then I would assume we're gonna see him go a bit more aggressive here. Unless if he wants to wait for the next upgrade for the Lurkers as well. Has an opportunity here. Did he forget his melee upgrade? Oh no, wait, he went for the, sorry. I was looking for the melee, but going for the ranged upgrade here, the +3. So they're +1 instead of the +3 melee. Alright. Oh, that's a lot of Lurkers right now. Another flank coming in from the other side. Quite a lot of Banelings there. Zerglings as well. Trying to ambush whatever is moving backwards here. Or maybe moving into intercept as well. Into that area. Those are some pretty good Blinding Clouds overall. The anti-armor missile, kind of questionable in a sense, but pretty cool as well. Interference matrix on that Viper, don't see that every day. SERRAL did clean up that base. That's a very important thing to do. He's now taking full control of this entire side of the map here. Look at that, guys. He's got both the corners, which is quite difficult for BYUN to deal with right now. On this full base economy, SERRAL up to almost 90 drones here. It's going to have 89, in fact. Going to have an absolute booming economy. And it's up to BYUN now to kind of get himself out of this rough patch overall. Couple of Lurkers here. Can they take out that missile turret before one of them dies? I guess one of them will die, but that's about it. That's so frustrating for BYUN to deal with. Oh, anti-armor missile coming in again here onto the Bangs and the Zerglings. And interesting to see this in late game TVZ. Will it actually help him out though? He doesn't have that much stuff overall. Trying his best to make a way for those Banelings not to hit too many of his valuable units, but it's still too much. Oh, is it? Well, I'll hold up actually. Hydralisk having to move backwards here. I mean, those Banelings definitely got a great connection, and I mean, if SERRAL just keeps trading like that, he's gonna win this game ultimately. It's still up to BYUN to find a way out of this predicament, right? He still needs to figure out a way in order to get himself into a position where he's dealing damage to his opponent, where he's actually getting SERRAL on the back foot. And it's been a while since we've seen BYUN on the other side of the map, and it's been a while since you've seen BYUN being aggressive. It's not a good sign. That is not a good sign, because that is all BYUN wants to do. Quickly moves away from that planetary fortress. Allows SERRAL to just invest Zerglings into this though. Smart move, not even trying to have those Banelings going in there as well at the same time. Based on the top right side, there we go. Finally, BYUN finding something going his way. Still quite a scary predicament here. Look at those Lurkers. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Quick pickup, but not enough to save most of those forces right there. SERRAL making the best of that situation with those sources of the Terran being in the top right side, immediately putting up some sort of an ambush, really. Whether that be more Terran units coming to reinforce a push, or whether that be the Terran forces coming in to come back around. Wow, here we go, another wave of Zerg will be clashing with the Terran here. Not quite going SERRAL's way this time around. Well, as we've said before, it's not necessary for SERRAL to just win straight up. He just needs to deny these bases and ensure that he is ahead on the income advantage, and that is definitely something that's going into his favor right now. And the units traded over here, still not that bad for Mr. SERRAL, the Finnish man himself, keeping this rather close. Even going for the greater spire right now, a normal spire as well being added in. Gonna try to get the double upgrades going, I suppose. It's not a bad idea. Greater spire can help out quite well against those siege tanks, of course. It's the ghost that you have to worry about here, really. I suppose you can try to abduct them, but I think that is the most efficient way to deal with them. Big run in here with those links. Quickly burrowing a single one of them as well. Do we have units available here for BYUN? BYUN, where are your boys? They are all moving towards the top side. Still anticipating an attack there as well. He's also going for a drop, and that is not going his way either. Yeah, BYUN, he is falling apart here, guys. 19 workers going down. That's quite a bit of trouble. Gets the kill on that Zergling in the ground. More Zerglings moving in to try and take out as many of those ghosts as possible, but rough place and time. BYUN once again finding some forward momentum, but SERRAL just too good to let that go anywhere here. It's just like, alright, well fine, you want to shut down one of the bases I'm stealing from you? Okay, well let me just shut down two of these other bases that you would also desperately need to have mining in order to actually win this game. The army for BYUN, of course, still quite terrifying here. Quite a few ghosts, quite a few siege tanks. In a way, it's kind of cool to see him just going for whatever he can grab here, right? He's like, alright, I'm in a tricky situation. Let me just ensure that I don't get overwhelmed by having my army too spread out too thin. Just stock everything up together. Just try to get the bases that I can within that vicinity. But then again, that is opening up. Look at that. SERRAL even going to start mining from the bottom left side. Absolutely relentless, this Finnish man. Was that not Baneling? Oh, Zergling. Yeah, there we go. The burrowed Zergling now stopping this. More on the back foot right now. I mean, BYUN in a better position to try and deal with this now, of course. Let's see how the Ghost will be able to deal with the Lurkers here. Doing an alright job. Banelings on the top side right now. The Vipers coming in as well. Blinding Clouds on a couple of the siege tanks, but not enough. SERRAL not taking the best trade there, but still, I mean, these Zerglings still going absolutely ham on everything on the back side of things. The production facilities in a bit of trouble. They're struggling. As BYUN right now on 31 workers. Overall, this is just an absolute slaughter fest. Look at the amount of Zerglings, Banelings, everything just coming in here. I think, you know, one of the ways you could still see this go wrong is SERRAL just overcommitting onto Banelings into the siege tanks over and over again. Right, just not trading efficiently, but I mean, at this point, he can be so cost inefficient. Like, it is nuts. Moving straight on into this main base. He's got Adrenal Glands M+3. I mean, the buildings go down very quickly. They don't have building armor either, by the way, so that helps out a ton as well for SERRAL here. Not upgrades that you would normally get, but still an upgrade that is. Can be quite useful in those types of weird fringe situations. Banelings coming in one at a time. Zerglings coming in at a weird angle as well, but I mean, SERRAL just moves back. He's like, alright, well, fine, I'm not going to kill you right now. Let me just move backwards. Let me just get something else. Another full army. How about that? How about another 66 Zerglings? Probably going to be 66 Banelings pretty soon. BYUN, realizing that there's some mining going on here, will send into a medevac. SERRAL already in position as well, though. With these Zerglings, going to be able to stop this from getting destroyed. And that's a rough spot here for BYUN. Realizing that he's lost another base. Where am I from? I am from the Netherlands. It's where all the best StarCraft 2 casters are from, obviously. Right. So, upgrades for the air army still kicking in here. It looks like he isn't really committing to any type of air units just quite yet, but the, alright, wait a moment. There are Corruptors. There they are. Alright, where's the Brute Lords now? 6 Brute Lords. There they are. Alright, all the Brute Lords together. Okay. Finally, a bit of damage here being achieved. The Siege Tank on the high ground, a smart choice there by BYUN. Allowing this drop to be a bit more efficient here. Takes out that base. Army for SERRAL growing to ridiculous proportions once again, though. How many ghosts do we still have? 14. Those ghosts need to be able to deal with the Brute Lords. But at the same time, there's so many Banelings here to just roll into those ghosts as they're trying to get the snipes off. It's quite a hard situation here. Okay, some good snipes overall, but man, that's a lot of Banelings. Okay, you got rid of most of them. Now it's just the Brute Lords here. Yeah, those snipes are definitely picking off these Brute Lords quite a bit. The bank for SERRAL not all what it's used to be. We still have 120 army supply from the, well, the Terran player here left to deal with. He's going to stick around on his own side of the map, though, for now. I mean, to be fair, he knows that these bases are now not being mined from. If he manages to secure this base as well, maybe he will still make this a battle of attrition. Because the trading is going so heavily into his favor. Maybe if he does secure this base over here, manages to mine this out, keep defending these areas, and then slowly start moving again into these locations, try to mine these bases out as well. Maybe. Use English as first language? No, it's my second language. Oh, careful here. BYUN needs to get the heck out of the harm's way. So once again, a ton of Banelings just coming down the woods. And I think this may be it here, guys. There's not much left anymore for BYUN. He still has a 96 army supply, though, surprisingly enough. 36 workers once again go down. He's down to 5 workers here, guys. SERRAL, I mean, this is a game he can play whichever way he wants to. Oh, man, that burrow, that's disgusting. I mean, are you really going to invest a scan when you only have 5 workers in order to get rid of those Zerglings? Are you going to buy yourself a missile turret? What do you do? I think getting a missile turret may have been the better call there. Because then, well, I don't know. At least you stop it from happening again, but then you may lose that missile turret. I don't know. I don't know entirely. Yeah, BYUN, I'm sorry, buddy, but this is a predicament you're finding yourself in. You're still under the impression, maybe if I keep winning the fights overall in efficiency, which he is doing, to be fair, maybe he's going to be able to break open SERRAL here, but SERRAL, once again, long-distance mining here from this area, is still seeping away money and overall credits. Lol. Alright. Here we go. Infestor underneath. No missile turrets here, remember. Oh, that's a base that's going down very quickly. Infestor on the back foot. Here we go. I can't wait to see this happen right now. Umbro, as soon as the units come in, most likely a great fungal opportunity here. Actually, you don't even have to, really. Oh, there we go. That's one. Coming in right now. There we go. That's the Unburrow. That's the fungal. It's not the best one, but it's still getting a lot of those ghosts, having a rough time getting away from the Zerglings, from the Banelings. The Lurkers now in between these bases as well. Absolutely pandemonium here for BYUN. Struggling quite a bit. There we go. GG is called. Mr. SERRAL takes game number 1. Alright. Game number 2 will be played on Oxide right here. So we are gonna load that up, of course, as soon as possible. Man, SERRAL was just pummeling BYUN right there. To be fair, I do think so, that SERRAL, an absolute monstrosity, in particular against BYUN, right? He is just made to take out BYUN, I'd say. This is his bread and butter. In the bottom left side, we got ourselves a blue Zerg player fighting for ENCE Esports. He is SERRAL. Top right side, that's a red Terran player fighting for nobody but himself. The teamless Terran, BYUN. Am I not casting into the Alpha X series? No, I am not. I'm casting these games right here. Bit of StarCraft. Bit of competition. I mean, it's BYUN versus SERRAL. Pretty good, pretty good. Refinery and barracks on the way. Same olds there, I guess, there for BYUN. He does like to do some proxy barracks now and again as well, but maybe in a tournament like the TSL, not going to be his cup of tea. Not going to be prioritizing that. Spawning pool for SERRAL. After that, hatch all normal. So as BYUN, what do you even do now against SERRAL? Do you just still try to make the immovable object move? Is that still what you do? I think you do, right? I mean, we've seen Cure have a lot of success with the Widow Mines overall. Maybe that is something you can try to make happen here as well. Although we did see him kind of already doing some stuff with the Widow Mines there the previous game. SERRAL was just on top of that. Of course, that was without the quick drilling claws, without the second factory as well. So maybe that's still something you can look into. I'm fairly certain BYUN is capable of dishing out quite a bit of hurt with a build like that. We'll have to wait and see. Alright. So far, 2 gas have been taken. Gonna go for the factory single production Hellion here. Okay, yeah, we've seen this happen quite a bit for BYUN actually. He loves to do this. Get a medevac with the Marines and then just single factory Hellion production here as well. Behind that, get a third base. I believe you get a third base behind this, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this is a great way to apply pressure on multiple fronts, which is what BYUN likes to do, right? It is his, as we've said, his forte to try and deal damage to his opponents. Alright, setting up shop here with the wall on the low ground as well. A tech lab on the factory. Could be that he's going to transition into the Banshee here afterwards. It's not a bad call. Here comes the medevac. There we go. The medevac most likely will be going to the main base. The Hellions towards the third or the natural. Could just be that they're there to try and deny some creep as well if they don't get anything else, right? That's perfectly fine. He just doesn't want to lose them without any purpose. Alright, you know what? Zergling's there. Bit overeager to get into the battle. Get themselves into the fray. SERRAL here, a bit confused it looks like. Wants to figure out what's going on. Sensing the Overlord. Doesn't find too much, but still kind of nice. BYUN's medevac taking a while there actually to get rid of that Overlord. Hellions almost getting caught out as well. Not quite happening that time though. Yeah, once again, SERRAL really not letting anything happen to him here. Nothing bad anyway. We do have a siege tank. Ooh, this is a pretty interesting siege position. Does that reach the mineral spot? I don't think it does. Trying to. Maybe he mispositioned it slightly. Can you like move it further over here, or maybe a bit more to the top in order to get himself into? Yeah, okay, that should hit. That should hit now. Oh, but it's gonna go down. Oh man, that's rough. Oh, that's rough. All right, well, down goes the siege tank. Down go the Marines here as well. Good efforts overall. Liberated now, gonna take over the skies. Medevac's deciding, you know what, probably not the way to go right now. See what else we got going for ourselves here. Just picking up Liberator in the main base. Quick, again, evacuation of those drones. 0 drones killed so far, guys. Are you kidding me? How many times does that happen when you're playing against BYUN as a Zerg? You lose 0 drones up until the 6-minute mark. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Only losing 7 Zerglings here as well. I mean, SERRAL once again just showing why he is such a formidable player on the macro departments. Little Zergling there. Scouting boy, trying to figure out what the army composition here is. So BYUN, of course, also seeing whether or not that is that third base on the way. Couple of Zerglings ready for the run by as soon as he sees BYUN kind of moving out. He's going for the Roaches here. Roaches with the +1 armor and ranged attack. Very cool to see SERRAL also committing to this type of army composition. Very similar to what we see from some of the Korean Zergs. Starting to wonder whether or not this is actually... Look at how far that Roach was shooting, by the way. It was shooting all the way over there. From here, that's some siege tank ranged Roach right there. That's the Overseer. I mean, this is looking like just a massive, actually, committal from the Roaches. He's still making Roaches, so it is, in fact, nothing like the dark kind of playstyle here. It looks like it will just be an all-in coming out of SERRAL, and it looks like that is going to be quite the formidable one to boot. The Marines here, very committed to trying taking out as many of these Ravagers as possible. He knows he needs to keep his siege tanks alive. And the best way to do so is getting rid of those Ravagers. Taking care of the artillery of the Zerg here to protect your own artillery. Probably the best way to do things. Needs his Marines in the front. He knows those siege tanks ever so crucial. Trying his best to siege tank from the main base. A little bit misguided there. Did not realize the severity of the situation. He's kind of waltzing down the ramp. Following orders. That is looking like this could be quite the pummeling of a game number 2 here, going into SERRAL's favor once again, as BYUN just doesn't have what he needs to really take out SERRAL here. SERRAL's economy just was booming too hard for too long. BYUN trying to do damage, never really got to do anything, and GG is called just like that. Great all in. BYUN not prepared whatsoever. Having a little bit of a presence there on the low ground with the 2 siege tanks and the marines, but ultimately that's just not going to be enough for a situation like that. That means we're going to go into game number 3 with SERRAL on match points here as well, so it's kind of a scary situation here for BYUN. And, I mean, SERRAL winning the macro game and now kind of winning the mid game as well with just a big all-in, so I mean, what's going to be the plan here for BYUN? That's a good question. Top right side, the teamless Terran needs to win 3 times in a row right now. He is BYUN. And fighting for Ants Esports, it's the Finnish Phenom, the Blue Zerg, SERRAL. Pressed a bit of a print screen right there accidentally. Okay. Checking the vicinity here with his overlords. Surprised BYUN again not going for that proxy Rex. He does like to incorporate that now and again into his playstyle, of course. More drones. That's all we're getting. Going up to 18 here. Interesting. Actually, this is kind of interesting, right? It's known that BYUN doesn't like to do the Reaper Scout all that often. Maybe this allows you to get away with a couple more drones at the start of the game before you make those Zerglings, right? Before you make your spawning pool then as well. Maybe. But then you are running the risk, right? Is he going to make the Reaper this time? Isn't he going to make the Reaper this time? Still kind of a gamble in that sense. What's up, StarCraft Sim? Thank you for that rose, my buddy. Much appreciated. Welcome back. Welcome back. So where are we headed? So far, looks like the one gas with the... Okay, yeah, the switcheroo gonna occur here momentarily. Very standard stuff. I would like to see BYUN still attempting the triple command center play here as well. You never left? Oh, alright. My bad. My bad. Alright then, Mr. BYUN. Mr. BYUN, what's the plan here, son? Still starports. Fair enough, yep. Could be the same thing. Actually, no, we'll set up the factory on top of the reactor here, so a little bit of a mix-up from the previous game. Maybe getting himself a tech lab here for the starports right now. Wouldn't be surprised. The timing lines up quite nicely, but yeah, it's not going for it. It's going to go for the Marines instead. Will be the medevac play then, most likely. Maybe a Liberator. I'm assuming the medevac, seeing that he's still making Marines as well. Hey, alright. Oh, I love it when I'm right. I love it when I make a correct call. Once every blue moon. When BYUN's off to a chicken party, I get a call correct. Sorry, like, I got a bit hypnotized by that circling, moving back and forth. Okay, so Overlord speed here again, quite early on by SERRAL. SERRAL just really adamant about being able to figure out what is going on in his opponent's base. Sees the medevac move out, sees the Hellions move out, so right now should be aware of exactly which steps he needs to take. At least you would assume, right, from the Finnish Phenom, that he will be aware of exactly which steps he needs to take. Already setting up his queens a little bit closer to the main base in case that is where the aggression is coming from. And now sending them elsewhere. So maybe anticipating the medevac coming elsewhere. There are the Zerglings. Already on top of the medevac. So, you know what? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Prioritizing the queens on the area where the Hellions are more likely to come into. There we go. Another attack. Another absolute baller defense here from SERRAL. Is this Alpha X Screams? No, this is already, this is a TSL cast overall. So, the game's from TSL. I didn't get to see them, so checking them out right now. The attack here for SERRAL on the way as well. Hellions, I mean, still, again, let's take a look. 2 Zerglings, guys. 2 Zerglings and a single Creep Tumor. This man is unbreakable. This man just cannot be harmed in any which way or form. Wait, did I speak too soon? Oh, he's not targeting drones. Again, not getting a single drone kill. Even going to invest some of these Zerglings in order to get rid of that auto turret a little bit quicker. Allow mining to continue. That's a pretty smart move, actually. I really like that. It's not something you would do immediately, right? More so the idea, at least that popped up in my head. First, it's like, all right, let's just let that go. You know, we don't need to deal with it. It's going to go away on its own. Let me save up these extra minerals that is invested into these Zerglings. But at the same time, I mean, if you're not doing it, that means you're losing more money, probably, than you would lose in the Zergling investment because you're not mining. Cool stuff. Cool stuff right there. Getting rid of those Marines once more. Ah, well, getting rid is a strong word. Kind of shooing them away. Telling them to sort of get off the Zerg lawn right there. Banelings. Yeah, that's going to take a while still to be produced. This is actually the first time I'm really liking the attack of BYUN here. Actually obtaining some value. As we can clearly see, that is being obtained quite nicely in the mineral count. The gas count, not as much, unfortunately, because of the... Wow, he's even seeing this overload, by the way. I was like, why is he not... Oh, well, anyway. It's just a Raven getting picked off right there. That's a bit of a shame. Getting a bit too... feisty with that one, I suppose. Trying a bit too hard to get that damage dealt with the Raven as well. Not entirely sure how the Raven went down anyway, but it's not supposed to happen. It's not supposed to happen. It's one of those tools you want to keep around for as long as possible in order to just keep allowing yourself to save up those scans instead of utilizing scan energy for the creep denial or creep destruction. Go. SERRAL trying to get rid of some of those Widowmine shots. Not quite being able to do so just quite yet. It's going to be able to... Ooh, that's a scary time. Okay. Hydra's now in the main base. Need a bit of help. Nice control here from the army of SERRAL. We'll have those queens on the low ground, but they are actually in a bit of trouble now together with those Widowmines. Massive Widowmine connection. Oh, just barely gets avoided there. Thought that was going to get all those drones. Worker count now, only 6 workers still have been slain, but... Oh, man, again. Just on the verge of getting destroyed by that Widowmine there. BYUN not being lucky with his Widowmine timings. Or maybe SERRAL just being absolutely a baller with his pull-aways. Just in the nick of time, over and over again. Alright. 3 medevacs with the Marines coming on through. SERRAL has more than enough to deal with this. It's just, is there something else going on at the same time as well? That's, of course, the question here on SERRAL's mind. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, that is so unfortunate. Okay. Whew. For a moment, I thought I was gonna. Really thought that was gonna be a bad bit of not paying attention. But BYUN does manage to hold his own there. The creep spread. I mean, there's been some denial. How many creeps do we miss? 18 so far. Gonna go up to 19 right now. But the creep spread's still looking pretty solid, right? Especially in these corners right over here. Sometimes they do get neglected, those corners. Not happening here with SERRAL. No, sir. SERRAL on the ball continuously. He's a very quick Zerg player, after all. One of the quickest players we have in StarCraft 2, in fact. That's just ever so efficient as well. Let me see. Oh, fuck! My bad. Oh, that's a shame. Alright, anyway, moving on. Misclick. Trying to find buttons here. Anyway, moving on forwards. Marines here coming in. SERRAL getting himself the hive tech as well. I mean, so far BYUN he has been able to do pretty reasonable trading, I'd say, right? It's looking better than it was that first game here for sure. Ooh, bailing landmine there. That could be quite the nasty thing. But yeah, I think BYUN is in probably the best position he's been in so far. Just because he's actually been able to trade pretty efficiently against SERRAL here. SERRAL really trying his best not to allow that to happen, but it's still being found here by BYUN so far. The base count for BYUN not too far behind either. His worker count is looking pretty good. I know that BYUN likes to have just a smaller or less workers overall than a lot of other Terran players. So that is all normal. 76 is still quite a bit actually for him, in fact. Okay, still scanning ahead as well, so he's aware of the potential of Widowmine, bailing landmines. Quite a few Marines bite the bailing right there, though. Wow, SERRAL. He's just so bloody darn quick, isn't he? He moved back and forth between that Zergling cluster a couple of times there, I believe. Alright. This hive tech is getting a little bit low here. That would be problematic, losing that. And he's like, you know what? Screw it. Make it even a little bit lower. BYUN actually is multitasking. He's being put to the task here. The drops in the main base do get slain. And he is busy with two other drops at the same time. Looks like the one on the right side also getting cleaned up. Just the one through the middle now, and suddenly BYUN's like, wait a moment, didn't I have 3 attacks happening here? I guess, well, it's just this one now. I better leave. I better leave. Because SERRAL will be able to just put everything on that location and hold his own rather nicely here. SERRAL once more gonna put the aggression forwards. Does have those Vipers now. No Ghost available just yet for BYUN, so this could be quite the nasty occurrence. Well, it has a ton of siege tanks right there. Maybe a bit too many for SERRAL to really commit into that location here. Oh, come on, landmine that stuff. Still not finding anything with his banelings here, huh? Having a couple over here burrowed as well. I'd say it would be better to burrow them over here, but with the sensor tower there, it's hard to really make that call. To reposition them right now. Probably gonna be noticed. Probably gonna be noticed, right? Okay, so SERRAL here is gonna make that transition into the lurk attack now as well. We got the upgrades on the way behind this. Also getting the Spire. I like the Spire being added in anyway, right? Just start up those upgrades. You may as well find yourself in an opportunity to suddenly make a good amount of, whether it be Corruptus into Broodlords, whether it be just a big ball of Mutalisk, anything of that sort. Can be quite advantageous from points in time. Here we go, once again, trying to commit to that hive tech, but once more, not really finding anything here. Parasitic Bomb, yeah, there it is. Parasitic Bomb is gonna jump into this location as well. More attacking happening on the right side. Also, BYUN's just not really finding any momentum anymore. Lately, it's kind of fallen down to quite a slow pace. SERRAL still just trying to burrow Banelings wherever he can. Ooh, Siege Tank fire there. Nice hit. Come on, burrow them. Just two. We just need two. We just need two SERRAL. That's all we need. It's not gonna make it work. But anyway, on the left side here, the 12 o'clock could be under a lot of pressure pretty soon as well. There's the Banelings once more. Missile turrets being made at the same time though. Let's see, SERRAL. Still no lurkers here, are there? I guess he has one lurker overall. Maybe just wants to win this game off of the back of Zergling, Baneling, Hydralisk. And nothing else. Ooh, this is a nice attack right here, coming in from multiple angles. The Viper's taking a little bit to get the Blinding Clouds off, and they get EMP'd, in fact. Not even sure from where, but that was quite the devastating EMP. Not a single spell being cast from those Vipers. So that base does fall. On the right side, though, we have BYUN finding an opportunity himself as well. Getting on top of the hatchery, getting on top of the drones here. Will return the favor instantly. As, you know what, probably a bit less important of a base for SERRAL there to have. Already has another base over here, and of course has the base on the left side at 9 o'clock as well. May want to look into trying to grab some of the bases on the top left side. But maybe just, you know what, if you have this large of a Zergling count, may as well just jump on top of the siege tanks as well, right? Maybe that will just be enough on its own. Getting another 13 workers here slain, put into the ground. And the command center. Oh, you naughty little boy. SERRAL continuously just making things difficult here for BYUN. There's another hive tech on the way, actually. Interesting. SERRAL thinking ahead here, realizing, you know what, that hive tech is kind of low, actually. Let me start getting a plan B here, just in case we need it, right? Pretty cool thing. Don't see a lot of Zergs do that type of thing, right? Most of the time it's like, well, it's still alive, right? I'll probably not get it. I hope. Another attempt at taking out this base here. I think this could be a pretty good one. The medevac's actually moving backwards with all of their cargo loaded up right now. All those Marines up in the sky. Need to have those boots on the ground ready to take on the Zerg infestation here, but a bit difficult for him when they're on the retreat. Of course, command center still burning. He has an SCV on the way though to come over and help that little floating box of SCVs out. Again, it's a lot of Banelings. I really do believe that SERRAL is going to be able to take this without even going into the lurk attack, really. We still don't have well, we had a couple of them, right? How many died? He made one. Okay, he made one lurker. I thought he made like 3, perhaps, but he made one. That is nothing, really. SERRAL, is he setting up another big flank? He may actually be looking for it. Setting up Zerglings, Banelings, Hydras on both of these sides. Could be a good opportunity. There's not that many minerals left though on this alleyway. Not that base, so yeah, I prefer actually him investing this attack into the left side, where there is still more money to be made by both of these players. Good scan ahead, trying to find whatever he can. Oh, it's a bit scary. Running away as they are trying to get the snipes off. Viper Blinding Clouds getting on some okay targets, but still too much Terran there to really break through. Another great engagement there for BYUN, who has been doing a lot better than he has been recently in the other games. He is actually getting himself the expansions that he needs to keep this trading going. Though he is losing SCVs left, right, and center continuously during that attack as well on the left side. The Baneling and Hydra Zergling army that was on the right Kind of getting spotted out by the SCVs there. Alright. Gonna not quite yet see that creep. Should be starting to see that momentarily here. Realize that that is an actual thing.
Mineral field depleted.
Bottom right side now in the hands of SERRAL. I mean, to be fair, if BYUN does manage to keep this left side secured, doesn't lose too many SCVs over here, and later on make sure that SERRAL doesn't take this base, he may be in an okay spot here to win a game. I mean, look at the efficiency that he's found himself here. That is quite ludicrous. That is almost 10k extra minerals being lost here by SERRAL. SERRAL has been kind of strong-headed though, with the just going Zergling, Bangling, Hydralisk kind of style. Maybe a couple of Vipers mixed in as well. But yeah. Okay, Infested Broodlords. Could be pretty cool. So the Broodlords are going to force the Ghost forwards. Then you can fungal them. And then you can run in the Banelings, I suppose, right? We'd like to see a couple more Banelings though, because 12 Banelings probably going to get one shot by the siege tanks here. In we go. There are the Broodlords trying to just claim this territory here together with the Spore Crawlers as well. Spore Crawlers, I suppose, there to help out against Liberators and such. There we go. One snipe, one EMP. Finding some of those Infestors, Queens, and the Vipers. Actually, 3 Spellcasters here being utilized by SERRAL. He's going to have to fungal the... well, the Blinding Clouds and the Transfusions all at the same time. Well, he's microing those Broodlords as well. Let's see if he manages to do it correctly. Another volley of those Broodlords would be ever so lovely. There we go, getting on top of the siege tank this time around and gets rid of one of them. Do we still have more Infestors? Yeah, he's sending them in one at a time. Oh my god, SERRAL, you... that is very impressive. I'm sorry, guys. That is... oh, that is so good. That is all there just to avoid getting EMP'd massively. I guess he's messing it up a little bit right now, but just sending in one Infestor at a time, keeping the rest of his spellcasters backwards. Well, that is quite something else you don't see every day. That is just continuous adjustments of those... wow, the Spore Crawler's getting a command center. Come on, Spore Crawlers. SERRAL, my dear lord, he is a god amongst men. Yeah, there we go. Good for EMPs on those Infestors though, finally making something work there. But these Broodlords, they are just continuously gaining value now for SERRAL. No longer is BYUN taking the more favorable trades. It is in fact SERRAL now starting to really up those unit lost counts for BYUN, and I think you may need some Vikings or something against this. Anything. There's some great fungals right now. Banelings ready to commit now as the Ghost and the Marines shot to the ground, nailed to the ground, and this is becoming quite the hassle here for Mr. BYUN. He's missing this base on the right side as well. Look at that. During all of this, SERRAL taking a base on the 2 or 3 o'clock location here. BYUN has to deal with that. That is no question about this. We'll be shooting down the hatchery. There we go. No cancel there, but that was kind of a funny base to take. Kind of has to in a way, as the Broodlords are moving in on the left side right now. Getting rid of more command centers here. Orbital flying in the sky will start to slowly burn down, I suppose. Actually, there are the Corruptors. There we go. Ooh, that's a lot of Ghost. That's a lot of snipes as well. Finally, BYUN finding some good opportunities here with these Ghosts. Getting himself right underneath the Broodlords and shooting down every single one of them. Great EMPs on those Infestors as well, providing that opportunity. And BYUN, once again, getting a little bit of a leg up there in the efficiency hall department. Very cool stuff. I guess those spores also there as stealth detectors, right? That did become a bit of a problem there for SERRAL in the end against those Cloaked Ghosts when he lost all those Broodlords. BYUN here with still 120 army supply, only 24 SCVs remain, though. It's up to BYUN. Will he be able to get the steam ball rolling? I don't think he's even going for it. Still aiming to try and just be efficient as efficient as possible here. And trying to make sure that he's going to be mining from these bases on his side of the field. But once again, SERRAL, he is taking those bases in the top left side. All he needs is like 350 minerals there. And he's paid for this, right? Well, I guess that would be 700 minerals for the 2 hatcheries overall. But still, sounds doable. A drop for BYUN, trying to get rid of this hatchery here. Hydra is now also being mixed into this clump of units. Brute Lords back on the menu, boys. Aiming to deal with those siege tanks, of course. The ghost army of Mr. BYUN, still quite terrifying. Once again, up to the 14 count. I wonder if he's particular about the number of ghosts that he wants. Because this number 14, it seems to be coming back a couple of times. Alright, SERRAL doesn't want to commit to a fight where there's no creep involved here. It looks like with those Brute Lords. Wants to ensure that he has those Spore Crawlers together with this army. Cloaking of the Ghost not going to help out, of course, with all those Spore Crawlers there. Is there still a way out of this here for BYUN? I mean, he is getting up to a ridiculous army supply here, guys. 147. He's not remaking any SCVs. He just wants to get himself into a 200 supply here. Oh, good dodge on that fungal. Yeah, with that 200 supply, he's going to have an insane army, but he needs to make sure not to lose his stuff against these Brute Lords here, of course. This is just throwing away his stuff right now. Already losing quite a bit of supply. It's going down rapidly. Great use of the dead space here by SERRAL. That little pillar right there, the Brute Lords abusing the heck out of it. Overseers moving forwards as well. Spore Crawlers joining in. And also, there is the massive fungal. The Marines not going to be able to spread out. That may be enough there for SERRAL to secure victory here, perhaps. If that happens one more time, that is definitely going to be the end time there for BYUN. BYUN still trying his best. A good drop on the left side here. I mean, denying these bases from being mined out, that is very important as well. There we go. The Ghost moving forwards once more. The Marines realizing there's not that much left anymore. There's no Infestor energy, so no fungal. And there's no Banelings here either, as all the Banelings and the Zerglings went to the left side to deal with a single medevac drop. Definitely a bit of an overextension there for SERRAL with his forces, but it doesn't seem to matter. He just has so much bank. He has so much stuff. And BYUN, he went down to 83 army supply. Getting back up to 200 army supply now seems very, very far-fetched. It's not that difficult for SERRAL, though. Still 4k in the bank in minerals, 3k in the bank for the gas. He's looking good. Infestor coming around, looking for that flank once again on the fungal. Do we have a missile turret there? No, we do not. In come the Banelings, in come the Zerglings. And this is going to be, it's going to be it, guys. I'm fairly certain. BYUN still trying to hang on here. A little thread of hope. But I hate to say it, this is most likely not going to go into his favor anymore. Banelings, fungal, there we go. That's it. GG is called. One slight misstep there in the end. And BYUN taps on out of there. Well played by SERRAL. Taking a clean sweep against BYUN here. 3-0. Very cool stuff.